Martin, you say your ex, Mr. Damphier, is a cruel and petty little man who refuses to fully accept that he is the father of your 4-year-old daughter, Amaya. You claim Mr. Damphier's callous indifference towards your daughter has gone on for far too long, and you intend to prove paternity today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Damphier, you say Miss Martin was a serial cheater with a stable of men in her rotation. You say you have evidence that proves Miss Martin was stepping out on you, and there is no way you are Amaya's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Martin, I'll start with you. Why do you say Mr. Damphier is callous and cruel?
He treats my daughter like crap. He's also played favoritism. Amaya has told me on numerous times that she's sad that her dad don't love her.
Oh.
She did a video testimony of how she feels.
She did?
Yes.
And you submitted that to the court?
Yes, I did.
Let's take a look.
Dad is mean because he always makes me sad.
How does that make you feel?
He always makes me sad. I'm mad because my dad always makes me sad.
That's awful.
Yeah.
And that's what she repeats to you over and over again.
Yeah, and then I tell him, like, you need to change your attitude towards her and treat her like she's yours.
Only reason why I treat her that way is Amaya's like more better. I got other kids. She's like disobedient. She misbehaves, so I gotta treat her accordingly. Like, I don't just treat her any way.
But Miss Martin is saying, Mr. Damphier, you're playing favorites because of your paternity doubt. You're not giving Amaya the attention and love that she needs and deserves.
I feel I'm not the father. Amber's always messaging guys. She texts guys all the time. So I feel I'm not the father. I mean,
You are her father, and you know it. She looks just like you. I've never cheated on you, Anthony, and you know.
So what was the nature of your relationship with Mr. Damphier? Miss Martin, can you tell me that?
We started out as friends, and then we eventually became serious. And through our relationship, I discovered he wasn't honest. He was texting other females. He was talking to other females. He had 6 other girlfriends at the time.
6?
you were
6.
cheating on me. You always messaging people.
Yeah, and like I realized the car that he showed up to at my house was another female's.
So, Mr. Damphier, did you drive another girl's car to Miss Martin's house?
Yeah, that was my friend's car. We wasn't serious at the time. Like, we was just having sex, so I did.
So you admit you are a cheater?
No, I'm not a cheater.
6 girlfriends?
We were just basically having sex.
You and Miss Martin?
Yeah.
Well, what about you and the girl whose car it was?
That was my friend.
So your testimony is that Miss Martin is a cheater?
Yeah.
Even though we pretty much established that you running for president in that club.
No, Amber's a cheater. I got multiple reasons why I think I'm not the father. She always messaging guys. Like I said, I have for one instance, she came home late, and I was messenger calling her, like she didn't respond. And then when she come home, her hair all messed up, smelling like sex. And
Wait, what?
I respond like, where you been at? She didn't have no proper excuse for where she been.
How long were you trying to reach her that day?
Over an hour and a half, and nothing till she got there. She didn't call me back, no text, nothing.
So, Miss Martin, you do have a smile on your face.
I
You're
do.
kind of smiling. You got a smirk.
No, he's crazy. Like, these are all his insecurities. I've never cheated on Anthony. I'm smarter than that to come home smelling like sex when I know he's there.
Well, she says she's smarter than that. She would have taken her shower before she came home.
Yes.
What do you have to say to that, Mr. Damphier?
That's not the only, there's more text messages. I have a text right here, and I have other text
How
messages.
did you find the text messages?
Well, she was going through my phone, so I got mad and went through her phone.
Okay, so what'd you
And
see?
She's messaging guys. I have evidence right here.
Let me see the evidence. Jerome, will you pass it to me, please?
Certainly. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You found messages. Other man says, come pull up and sit on my face. I want blank blank for breakfast. Miss Martin says, where you at? Mom's? Same house? Other man says, yup, so you coming? Miss Martin says, yup, on the way, be there in 20. What's that emoji down there?
No, see, that was just conversation. I've never cheated on him.
That's not conversation.
Like, I never cheated on him.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
I was thinking about going over there because after reading his text messages and stuff, I wanted to hurt him. But I decided not to go. And like I said, I've never cheated on Anthony.
But at 8:48, he asked you to sit on his face, and by 8:55, you was on your way in 20 minutes. That's 7 minutes.
Yeah,
That was 7 minutes
was just
exchange, and you had made a
conversation.
decision.
it was just conversation.
That's not
You don't even look
conversation.
like you're
There's-
telling the truth when you're saying it.
I know it looks bad, but I've never cheated on you.
There's more.
Like-
There's even more text messages.
There's more?
Yes, there's more.
You brought them?
Yeah, I did.
Let me see those, Mr. Damphier.
There you go, sir.
You got another text message exchange. The other man says, good morning, baby. And Miss Martin says, morning. Another man says, I want to see you again, love. And then Miss Martin responds, when?
She said again. That means like you already seen him. So what do you mean?
He's somebody from my past. He's somebody from my past. When me and Anthony was not together, he's somebody from my past. I've never cheated on you, and you know that.
But why are you entertaining these men then?
Because he wasn't giving me the attention that I wanted.
So you admit these are the exchanges you're
Yes.
having with men.
That
But
was
you're
it.
saying from these exchanges, you've never gone
Never.
to see one of them.
Never.
And Mr. Damphier, you believe this is when she was cheating and this is when Amaya was conceived.
Yeah, around the same time.
Well, let's figure out if it is the same time. Let me get my conception calculator. When was Amaya born?
October 8th.
Yeah, 2015.
October 8th,
2015.
2015. All right. Then we'll press calculate. Date of intercourse, January 7th, January 22nd, 2015.
Correct.
So if we go back to the text message exchange, the dates on those, the first set is January 3rd, and then the second set is January 29th and February 1st. That is right in the window of conception.
Exactly
It
the
is.
same time.
But I've never cheated on you, and you know that. Like, you are Maya's dad. That's
You
what
like a broken record, Ms. Martin, because I've never cheated on you, and you know that. He doesn't know that.
Well, I've explained to him.
So, Ms. Martin, take me to the moment you found out you were pregnant.
When I found out I was pregnant, I let Anthony know I was pregnant. And his reaction, he was not thrilled.
I had other kids. I had 2 other kids at that time.
Okay, we were having sex without using condoms. What happens when you have sex without using condoms? A baby can occur.
I never finished. Every time we used to have sex, I used to pull out for a whole year.
Okay.
And you never got pregnant.
That is not foolproof birth control. No birth control is, but that's one of the worst methods.
Yes, he denied her immediately. As soon as I told him, he was like, okay, well, whatever.
Because I'm not the father.
You are her father, Anthony. She looks just like you.
Can you tell the court how that made you feel, having your first child with a man you thought would want the child as much as you did?
It made me feel like crap. Like, I wish I've never met him.
And you've had to live with that as you've been raising your daughter by yourself.
Yes.
How
and-
hard has it?
I mean, he's there. He takes care of her, but he mistreats her. He plays favoritism. And it affects
That's
her.
not true, Amber.
You play favoritism.
It's not true.
So where are you all in a relationship now? Are you still together?
I don't know. He's with me when he wants to be.
We're not together.
Okay, we're not together.
Are you still having sex?
Yeah, we had sex last night.
We'll see them in 9 months, Jerome. They'll be back.
Book them now.
So you all still having sex.
Yes.
And you say you are on and off, and he says you're off.
Yeah, he says that, but then his actions is otherwise.
How? You say he's mistreating your child.
Yeah, he mistreats her.
Well, how do you lay down with a man who mistreats your child?
Good question. Good question.
Now, I mean, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
What day is that sexy?
No more.
All right. So, Mr. Damphier, besides the text messages, can you explain to the court your other doubt?
But Amber tells me I'm not the father of the baby.
I have said that.
She told
Being
me.
You
spiteful.
told him
I
he's
have.
not the father?
And then I showed him
And
a
then
random
she showed me a picture of a guy and said, "This is Amaya's dad." And
Oh
they look,
my
they
God.
look more alike than me and her. Like they resemble each other more than we do.
And you admit you did it, Miss Martin.
I did.
So what are you trying to get from this?
And I apologized to him for that was disrespectful. I did that out of spite. Like he had really made me mad after mistreating my child. I told him, "You're not her father anymore. We don't need you." And we don't.
So if you tell a man that he's not the father, how do you expect him not to doubt after that? I mean, I've heard of women, that's bad enough. We always say you cannot unring that bell. When a woman says, you're not the father anyway. Well, the man's never gonna forget that. I don't care, 365 days, 1,000 days from now, 10 years from now, he'll never forget the day you said, you're not the father, unless he has a DNA test that proves what the truth is.
Yeah.
But I have a never, you hear me? Have we, Jerome? Ever, in 7 years in this courtroom, had a woman pull up a picture and say, not only are you not the father, he is, but it be a fictitious man, like somebody you don't even know.
I didn't know him. It was a random picture on Facebook. I was scrolling and I told him that this is her dad. And he knows that.
You look like the ex too, your ex.
I have not messed with him since 2012. And that's what I keep like coming down to. You are her father and you
and
know
then
it.
what about the guy that asked you to sit on his face? How about him?
I don't deal with him. Like when me and Anthony split up, yeah, I talked to him. And that was that. And he was messing with other people when we split up. But once me and Anthony established that we were serious, all of that stopped. Like sexual wise, all of it stopped. I was only dealing with him and he knows that.
I don't know.
Well, I'm telling you, you're the only person that I slept with. I have not cheated on you.
Were you hoping to get caught with the messages? Were you trying to make him jealous?
I was, honestly. I wanted him to see those. I wanted him to see how it felt. But I didn't get a reaction out of him. The reaction that I was looking for.
You haven't been getting a reaction all day.
Yeah, he's unbothered.
Yes, very. I think the only way we're gonna move forward is to get the results. Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Martin versus Damphier, when it comes to 4-year-old Amaya Damphier, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Damphier, you are the father.
Exactly. Like he knows that.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Amber.
I appreciate the fact that you apologize, Mr. Damphier, but you're gonna have to apologize to another person too. And I see the way you're looking at her and the emotion in your eyes that you feel some level of regret about that. What are you feeling?
I just feel bad for her. I just feel heartbroken that I haven't been there like I should have.
Look at this video.
Dad is mean because he always makes me sad. He always makes me sad.
You see that?
Yeah.
4, that is tragic. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
And that goes for you too, Miss Martin. That video? And then you was with him last night?
Yeah.
Girl, what the old folks say, you going out the world ass backwards. That don't make no kind of sense.
It doesn't.
Mrs. McClung, you are here to prove to your now husband that he is the biological father of your 4-year-old daughter, Desire. You claim this paternity issue has fractured your marriage and you need today's results to repair the break in your family. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. McClung, you say you had no knowledge of Desire for the first 2 years of her life, and now that you are married, Mrs. McClung is desperate to prove you are the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mrs. McClung, you say your family is fractured.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
The year we've been married, we've had our ups and downs in the beginning. We got over that. Now the paternity is a continued issue. It's brought up often. Is she mine? Is she not mine? I admit I did tell him at first she wasn't his.
Oh, so that part.
Yes.
That never goes over well.
Right, but in the beginning, we were just friends with benefits around the time of conception. We weren't serious. It was an on and off thing between me and Chris.
So no commitment. So do you remember it that way, Mr. McClung?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to start off by saying I love my family. I really do. But I cannot keep living without knowing if she's mine or not. So, yeah, we was messing around when we first started seeing each other. We was just like friends with benefits. We weren't in a serious relationship. We weren't really together. It was actually the night of her birthday. While she talking, I just slid over next to her, and one thing led to another. So the conversation stopped after that. And it was action.
There was a break in between that. Me and Chris started messing around again a few months later. And that's around the time I got pregnant was when we started messing around again.
Then what happens?
Chris left and went to go do whatever it is he do. And
What do you do?
Well, Your Honor, like I said, we went together. So, for them 2 weeks, we was like just sleeping with each other. And I left to try to get a better opportunity from St. Louis.
How long were you gone?
I was gone for about 2 years.
2 years?
Yes.
So hold on, I just have to ask a question that's going through my mind. You all get together and have sex nonstop for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Then you say, I'm gonna take a job out of town.
Yes.
Then you don't even hear from one another?
No.
You don't know anything about this baby?
And I feel like this. She probably was thinking that I wasn't ready to settle down, and she probably didn't want to let me know about
I didn't
the
have
baby.
time for the back and forth between me and Chris, to be honest. He blocked me on Facebook and everything.
Oh, so now we getting the real story. So you have sex for 2 weeks,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden he disappears,
Right.
and you get blocked on Facebook.
Right.
Oh, so you think he ghosted you?
Right, basically. So
Oh!
after I got blocked and we hadn't talked, I'm not gonna lie, like I had sex with someone else one time. And I went to go get on birth control, and that's when I found out that I was pregnant.
So you submitted a calendar to the court.
Yes, Your Honor.
That outlines the sexual activity during the window of conception.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please step up to the monitor. And please tell the court what was going on at that time.
This is the 2 weeks me and Chris was together, like strong every night, like for 2 weeks.
So the green is the sex fest
Right.
with Chris.
Right. And then
Okay.
September.
That's in August.
Right, this is August. This is me and Chris. September 5th, I had sex with someone else one time.
You did?
Yes, ma'am.
And you had sex with that other person with no protection?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's why we're here.
Right.
All right. And then you go to the doctor when?
I went to the doctor around the 20th of September. They did an ultrasound. When they did my ultrasound, they said that I was about 6 weeks pregnant.
So once you realized you were 6 weeks pregnant, which is on the 20th of September, you then counted back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right.
And that's the window of conception, which would have been one of the weeks you
That me
had
and
the
Chris
sex
was together.
fest
Yes, ma'am.
with Mr. McClung.
Yes, ma'am.
And the only other person you had sex with
Was on the 5th.
was on the 5th of September,
Yes.
which was really just 2 weeks before you went to the doctor.
Right.
Understood. You may step back to the podium. And so once you determine that Mr. McClung is the biological father in your mind, did you reach out to him?
No.
I mean, it's one thing to be blocked on Facebook, but you had his phone number too, didn't you?
No. I had no way to get in contact with Chris. Once Chris left at the end of August and he cut off contact with me, I just went ahead and let it be what it was. And I just went with the fact that I said that the guy on the 5th was the baby, dead. So when Chris asked me, once he finally showed up 2 years later, if she was his, I told him no.
When I got back in town, my cousin invited me over, and she say, "Oh, Tori's and the baby outside." By this time, I want to know if she's mine, so I could be in her life. So I go to the car. I say, "Can I see the baby?" She say, "Yeah." I picked the baby up. I asked her. I say, "Be honest with me, this my baby?" She said no. So I'm like, "Well, can I walk around the neighborhood and ask?"
Actually, he didn't ask.
Hold on, wait, what?
He actually didn't ask. He just walked off with her. He just walked off with
Now,
her.
Jerome, I ain't never heard of such. Somebody says, "This my baby." They said, "No." Well, hold on. Can I walk around the neighborhood and ask?
He didn't even ask.
It's not
if he
funny,
walked
but
around
it is
with her.
absolutely ridiculous. But the truth is, it's probably how desperate you feel when there's a question of paternity.
Yes.
So why, Miss McClung, why in the world, when you have the opportunity to let him know so that he can be a part of her life, do you decide to say she's not? And listen, I'm only asking because I want to understand.
I don't want her to have to go through the, "Oh, he's here today, he's gone tomorrow." Like, that's the last thing I want. I don't want to have to be the one to wipe her face because somebody's here one minute and not there the next.
So the truth is, it was a defense mechanism.
Yes.
And you just said, "You know what? No, she's not yours." Because what you were really afraid of is that he would do to your daughter what he did to you.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Which means he was all in,
And then he was all
blocked,
out.
and then all out. All right. So eventually, somehow it all came together because you all are married.
Yes.
What happened?
Yes.
He unblocked me on Facebook and started inboxing me, asking
Now, you shouldn't have to have no baby to get unblocked. That is ridiculous. But okay,
So we were
you get
communicating.
unblocked, and then what happened?
We were talking. He basically he was like, you know, he wants to know for sure that that's his daughter. You know what I'm saying? And I can understand that with everything that's done happened. I told him then, "Chris, if you're that serious about it, get a DNA test."
Ah, so now in that moment, what happens, Mr. McClung? Do you immediately try to find a way to get a DNA test?
Yes, Your Honor. I got to, me and my cousin got to talking. We got to calling places until she let me know a little information that she, Miss Torres told her when I wasn't around.
And this is your cousin?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I'd like to hear from you. Please stand. State your name for the record.
Antonia Gandy.
So Mr. McClung just testified that after he thought Desire was his, you then had some information for him.
Yeah.
Can you share that information with the court?
So he was out of town, and I ended up going to the apartments that she stayed in because my friend stayed over there. And I ended up seeing the baby and her and another dude outside. And they was hugged up and kissing, and Desire was calling him daddy.
I mean, the thing about it is at the end of the day, if Chris cared that much, he wouldn't have just left and just not even had a piece of contact information for him. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, what I was doing, the person that I was talking to at that time, that was all Desire knew. So that's who was there.
Well, at the end of the day, this is a recipe for a paternity question.
Right.
This is
And
why
I'm
we do
saying
this.
I can understand
No, what
that.
my point is that what you have to understand that all of this set in motion leads to him having doubt.
Right.
And why this situation persisted longer than it had to.
Right. I started paying attention to like how Desire, that hairline Chris got, Zaya has that hairline. Chris
Okay.
also has that overbite. Desire has an overbite. Like, I did my research on that, and that's genetic.
This court wanted to get a greater understanding, and we've asked one of the most premier dentists in the nation and star of Married to Medicine, Dr. Heavenly, to give us more insight on this issue of overbites. Jerome, will you please escort Dr. Heavenly into the courtroom?
Put you right at the podium next to the seat next to the judge.
Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Heavenly.
Hello, how are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem.
Ms. McClung has presented evidence that she read that overbites were a genetic trait. Is that hereditary?
It can be. Yes, it can be. It's a recessive trait, just like hair or nails or anything. Overbite can be a genetic trait, yes.
It can be.
Yes.
All right. So can they be attributed to any other factor as well?
Absolutely. It could be tongue thrusting, sucking your thumb, or just sucking on a bottle too long would cause an overbite.
So after hearing Dr. Heavenly's testimony, does that make you even more nervous about the paternity?
No,
It doesn't?
no. Honestly. So.
You know, I already knew from your earlier testimony that when you get in a certain position, you put that wall up, right?
It's easier.
I understand. It's okay to say, this is scary for me. I didn't want to be in this position. Do you understand?
Yes.
So there is a lot at stake, and it's all right to honor that. Mr. McClung,
Yes.
you've developed a relationship with Desire. You are her daddy.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the stakes are very high for you as well. What does it feel like in this moment?
Truthfully, Your Honor, the bond that we got, I love it. You know, that's like doubt. I'm in doubt, yeah, I am. But at the end of the day, that's my baby.
It matters to you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's okay to honor what you really feel. And I think too often we've become a culture where we just want to say what's politically correct, right? And sometimes it's the most beautiful statement we can make, like, no matter what happens, she's gonna be mine. I believe you. But what I also believe is this is hurting you. And that's okay to say. Because that's how we get to the healing, is to acknowledge the hurt first.
Right.
And the reason why this court exists is so that people and families that are in your position can get the truth. Jerome, I'll take the envelope, please. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of McClung versus McClung, when it comes to 4-year-old Desire, it has been determined by this court. Mr. McClung, you are not the father. I'm very sorry.
It's cool, because no matter what, she got me. They all got me, regardless.
Thank you for that, Mr. McClung.
Can I go see my baby?
Oh, honey. We want to give him a minute. Ms. McClung, I'm sorry. Honey, I know that was not the result you wanted. Can you tell the court what you're feeling in this moment? What are you thinking?
I'm just hurt, honestly.
Do you know definitively who her biological father
Yes.
is? Is it the guy from the 5th?
Yes.
And do you know where he is?
Yes.